Eskom has announced that stage 2 load shedding will be implemented every afternoon between 4 p.m. and midnight from today until Wednesday. This comes after a slight reprieve over the weekend. The ailing utility has once again attributed this to generating units that have been taken offline for repairs as well as breakdowns at some stations. It's been 15 years since load shedding was first implemented in South Africa. So how long should we expect these outages to last? Let's unpack the story. We're joined by a former Eskom and City Power executive, that's Vally Padayache, who joins us on the line this morning. Vally, it's great to have you with us on the program. And I suppose, given what Eskom has told us about how much longer we can expect to have load shedding, it's about as long as a piece of string.
Good morning, Michelle, and good morning to your viewers. Glad to be back. Yes, the load shedding will continue, and it's a stated the fact that it will continue for approximately another 2 years until we get, and just to quote a particular technical fact, until the EAF, the energy availability factor of Eskom, is increased from the current 55% to about 75%. That's one fact. And then the second most important fact is we need, as the President said, another 4,000 to 6,000 megawatts of dispatchable power onto the grid. That inter alia. I mean, there's other requirements, but those are the two important sort of statistics that need to be met or actioned before we can stop load shedding.
And Vally, how much will the new Eskom board, how much will that influence just how quickly we're able to get the issue of load shedding in hand, do you think?
Okay, so to stop the load shedding, as I indicated to you, you need new generation, and of course you need to fix up the old plants. I would argue that the Eskom board, whether it was the old board or the new board, has control over fixing up the current assets. But in terms of new generation per se, new big generation, that lies in the ambit of government policy, the DMRE. But to increase the figure, the EAF from 55% to 75%, that's directly within the mandate of the Eskom board. Of course, together with the Eskom executive management team, we need to execute on that mandate.
And then, of course, in terms of getting new generation capacity online, getting renewables to play a much bigger role in the load shedding scheme of things and ending load shedding, that must also play a big role here.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's why I'm saying government needs to play a bigger role, because those aspects fall within the realm of government policy, given that Eskom is a 100% state-owned utility.
I mean, if we could get Kendal and Kusile power stations, as just one example, to operate at the levels that they should be operating at, that they're not taken offline as often as they are taken offline, that would be some way in solving this problem as well.
Well, most definitely. I mean, any coal-fired power station, I mean, Eskom has 15 of those now. If any of those, ideally a combination of those must and should perform better and get as close as possible to that 75% energy availability factor, then we'll be closer to stopping load shedding.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we continue to unpack the story and try to look at new ways of tackling this discussion around just when load shedding will end. But Vally Padayache, thanks very much for weighing in, former Eskom and City Power executive, joining us on the line this morning as stage 2 power cuts kick in from this afternoon until Wednesday afternoon, 4 p.m. until midnight on those days.